If you're looking for a handout, sorry, I don't carry cash. That stuff's disgusting.
Whatever you say, Rick. Hey everybody, Bandicoot Commando here, and welcome back to Multiverses. Last time, I did a very long session of going through all of Rain Dog's outfits here. 15 of them, and there's more on the way. So today, we're going to do some matches with Rick, and they shouldn't take too long, because he doesn't... Oh, what? I thought I bought this. I forgot to buy this one. Let me do that. But yeah, we're gonna go through Rick and, go through his skins as we've always been doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So he's got 8. That's a good number. So, events though, yes, the cybernetic stuff is going on. Ooh, I'm almost there for that. Might be able to get another boost to the battle pass, and hopefully I can make it here within the next few days. It ends in 9 days, so hopefully I can get to these before it wears off. There's also a login for it every day, so day 5 tomorrow. There's also the upgrade war for the Rift, and me and my friend, we took care of that, as you can see. So yeah, oh, wait, before I forget. So, the Cybucks currency, only some skins can be bought with Cybucks and or with Gleamium. But for now, most of them are through the Cybucks. And as you can see, Rick and Morty's are pretty up there. But I got just enough. Nice. And I got 2,000 left, it says. If I want, I could buy this. I could, it's only 1,000. If I can build up enough, I can then get another circuit credit to use. Because I really don't need anything else. It's only for 38 days. You know what? Let's buy it. I'll even equip it on Rick because it does feel very Rick and Morty feeling. So why don't I re-equip that? For the longest time for Rick, I've always used the Toxic Explosion because I don't know. I always would use the Screaming Sun for Morty, but I could have just switched it between the two. But now I got something that can kind of work better for Rick. Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. Alrighty, well, you know the deal. We'll do those matches and we'll see how it all turns out.
What do you want?
Alright.
Are all those
Rick,
gadgets
from Rick and Morty.
Rick?
What not to talk about with Rick? Rick and Morty, the show is that it's about the scientist named Rick and his grandson Morty on their various well, can't really say misadventures, but their various misadventures throughout the universe and multiverse, because Rick knows how to travel, do dimensional travel, and go throughout the universes that exist out there. I'm just going to say right now, I did not do well against this Harley player. I think it was because I was a little rusty with my Rick play that, yeah. Anyway, Rick, as a character that is, he's someone you really don't want to look up to or try to be. Like, I don't know where to begin with it, but, he's an alcoholic, he does drugs, both, well, alien drugs, that is. And, essentially, he's a real asshole through and through. He's also more than just an asshole. Like, there's a bunch of other things with him that's messed up, but given the death of his wife and his child from the original universe he's from, he's got a lot of baggage under him for that. So, let's just let's just get to the part where it matters, where Rick's moveset and best way to use him and such. So Rick's neutral attack is he uses his ray gun to shoot with. It's kind of similar to Fox's neutral special from the Smash Bros. Games. Now, the shots can be charged, and when they're charged, they do extra damage. And when they hit opponents, they're like Falco and Wolf's shots from their neutral special. But Rick, normal shots, they don't do any damage, or at least they don't do enough damage. And then his charge shots, yeah. Now, for his side attack, Rick will take a swing with his little energy plasma blades. Then he ends it with a kick, and then from there, he'll then shoot a missile, or a rocket, I should say. A rocket from... Yeah, you saw me do it.
Son of a...
Hold on, I want to see how I lost this. Okay, nope, that did the job, but I'm going to lose anyway. Anyway, the rocket does some pretty good damage, and
The other guys won that
it
one.
counts as a projectile to use. Let's see. Yeah, this was the skin that I bought, the Icon, as it's referred to as an acronym. I'm pretty sure this is an original skin, but at the same time, it does look like something that would be in the show. I have seen Rick and Morty. I've only gotten up to, like, Season 5 at the moment, but I'll get through the others in due time. So, see, I went over the side special and how it works. Rick's up attack is that he uses a plasma whip, and it can be charged. Although the whip has to be, like, from the tip part of it in order for it, yeah, like that. Now, Rick's down attack is that he will shoot a little, it's hard to describe it, really, but he'll shoot a little, like, a little butt, as weird as that sounds, and that butt will let off a little puff, a little fart. Yeah, like that. Very good for edge guarding, as you see there. Thing is, I don't fully remember about how long the butt goes with its farting. I think it will, like, continuously fart if it falls until it does, like, 2 or 3 of them. Or until, like, it falls off screen. I really want to see me kill this guy at least once, because this was another one I didn't do too well on either. I just did not have a good run with him. Well, at least at the beginning. Alright, there we go. For the air versions of the moves, the neutral attack is just the same, and you can charge while you're in the air. Rick's side air special is that he'll do a thrust, and a little energy field from his belt will pop out. It's a very handy move. Very good to act as a finisher. Rick's up air attack is that he will thrust a seed upwards. Now, this seed does actually have a purpose. If you're doing 2v2s and you use it on your teammate, they will get the educated buff. And the educated buff, there's only 2 ways to do that. Through Rick's up attack or through Velma. But what educated buff is that it actually, it affects the cooldown of your abilities. Specifically, it speeds up the cooldown process of your abilities, so it is pretty handy to have. Otherwise, if you use it on your enemies, they are affected by the silence debuff, and I don't think I properly went over what the silence debuff was with Gizmo, but what it does is that, okay, so it just only farts once, but what it is that what silence will do is that if your opponent has specials that are on cooldown and you hit them with the silence debuff, it will pause the cooldown on that ability until it wears off. So, a little handy to have. For Rick's down attack, he just does a thrust with his rocket boots, and it can sometimes inflict burns on the opponent, and it's always good to try and always inflict either burn, ignite really, but ignite or static shock on your opponents, because it's every tiny bit of damage they take from being burned and or from being electrified, it helps. Now for the specials. Rick's neutral special is that he will use a Meeseeks box, and he will summon a Mr. Meeseeks to help out. Now what the Meeseeks will do also depends on your input with the button as well. Should you either let it play out, or just simply hold left or right on your stick, the Meeseeks will run in... Rick will point in that direction, and the Meeseeks will run in that direction, arms a-flailing, until it runs into someone. It's considered a projectile.
Gotta go, Meeseeks.
If you press up when you summon the Meeseeks, they will do a uppercut attack, kind of like a Shoryuken. And it's a bit helpful, but it does some okay damage as well. Yeah, take that. Even if I don't win these matches, it still brings me some satisfaction that I damage these people and hurt their prides. If you press down when you summon a Mr. Meeseeks, a Meeseeks will be in place and it will prime itself with a golf club. This Meeseeks is also different from the others because while Meeseeks can easily be destroyed, the golf club ones are a little tougher, but they can still be destroyed, and this is because if they get hit by that golf club, it does some good damage. I'm trying to remember how I lost this. Because all it takes is what I was doing there to win. That's all it would have taken.
Sorry.
Let's see, this one is... I don't think it's a rematch. Yeah, no. This outfit of Rick's, the Gundam suit, this comes from a... I believe it was a Season 2 episode. Yeah, I think it was Season 2, where Rick and Morty go to another planet to refuel their ship, and it turns out the planet's government has a purge system, similar to, you know, the Purge movies. And Rick, who's traveled through many universes and planets, he's familiar that there are some worlds that do this, and he's like, hey, let's watch the show. And, well, it gets them into trouble, that they get stranded, and without Rick's advanced tech, for the most part, they have to struggle to survive. But once they get it back, both Rick and Morty suit up in these Gundam suits to take it out on the civilians. Especially Morty. Morty especially. Now, for Rick's... let's see, where was I trying to get to with the Meeseeks? Because I don't think I was done quite yet. Oh yeah, because like I said, the Meeseeks are kind of considered projectiles, sometimes they can be reflected. And other related abilities to that, so there's that. And then another thing with the Meeseeks is that you only get 2 uses out of them before they have to recharge. Now for his side special, and the most important part of Rick's moveset, his portal gun. Rick is not without his portal gun. He always has it on him. He always makes sure that it's there at all times. And more importantly, even if it gets destroyed or lost, he always knows how to make a backup. The portal gun is very integral to part of Rick's moveset if you want to do even more heavy damage. What Rick will do when you hold the button, the side button down, is that Rick will be in place and aiming, and there will be a reticle for you to control. Once you release the special button, yeah, Rick will then warp over, There's a way to cancel it and only bring up one portal, and then once you press the side again, Rick will open up another portal and complete the network. I don't know how to do that exactly. I think most of the time I've done it, it's because I've been knocked out of the animation, but I think you gotta like cancel out of it, and I've tried to do it, but you gotta be pretty quick, but I'll have to read up on it to see what I'm doing wrong. Now, once there are two portals that are linked together, any projectiles that go through them, they'll come out from the other portal, and they will receive a slight, as you'll see, yeah, they'll receive a slight power boost. But because I'm using a signature perk that will ignite projectiles when they go through the portal, that's how they work for me. Otherwise, when they go through normally, I think all they do is that they're just simply a little bit bigger and faster, which gives them a nice power boost, as I said.
The red guy's got that point.
Now, when the portal gun is recharging, when you use the side special, as you can see, Rick will pull out his rocket skis. Very handy to have, and as you might have seen a few times, if you can use a portal gun, you can then immediately prime yourself to use the rocket skis. Pretty handy. Oh yeah, so interesting thing with that Gundam outfit is that for some reason, unless they later like patch it in, on Rick's victory screen in his Gundam suit, the Meeseeks will be wearing the helmet to the suit, but I'm getting the idea that they're meant to be wearing the helmet in general if you're using this suit. So I'm going to hope that they'll fix it, because I use Rick, and the Gundam suit's nice, and just the fact that the Meeseeks get to wear helmets, it's just kind of funny looking. Anyway, Rick's up special is that he'll blast off from his jetpack there. It's pretty good. It does some good power. Sometimes I think, unless I'm mistaken, you can even inflict burn status on enemies with it. And you get 2 uses out of it too, so very helpful. Very, very helpful. Enemies will take damage either from the blast off or when Rick is launching himself up and crashes into the opponent. Now Rick's down special, as you've seen me use a few times, I forgot the name of the weapon he's using, but I just call it the Morph Ray, the Morpho Ray or whatever. He'll shoot this energy sphere that for a few seconds, it will just sit there and charge up, and then after those few seconds, it goes poof. Now, depending on if Rick or his opponents were in that sphere, it depends. If Rick and his teammate are in that sphere when it goes off, it will increase their size. And likewise, all projectiles from Rick or his allies, they also increase in size, and therefore make it easier to hit the opponent, but also do some more damage to it. If the opponents get affected by the ray, they will become miniature little rain dogs. Or, they'll become chibi rain dogs. It's like with Mojo Jojo's Anubis head move from the Powerpuff Girls stage. It's just like that. Now, when enemies are in the chibi rain dog form, they can't attack. All they can do... Oh, this skin. This is Navy SEAL Rick. This is from an episode, episode 1 of Season 3, where after the end of the Season 2 finale, Rick had turned himself into the Galactic Federation, I think that's what it was called, or the Galactic Government, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, see, Chibi Rain Dog. But the downside is that not only are they smaller, but they do have better dodging ability, sort of. Now, back to the Navy SEAL thing real quick. What happens is that Rick is currently in prison and being interrogated by agents to find out the secret to his portal technology. And it's around that time that both Summer and Morty, Summer being Morty's sister, if you don't know, they ended up in another dimension while trying to use Rick's ray portal gun. And from there, Ricks from the Citadel of Rick, which is basically all known Ricks from different universes coming together to form a government, essentially. They come and not only are able to transport Morty and Summer back, but they willingly tell them where Rick is, and Rick's not on good terms with the Citadel because, mostly it's because, as most Ricks put it, you know, you think you can be a different Rick, be unique, and not be like us, that sort of thing. So once they tell them, the Citadel, where Rick is at, they send in their team of Navy SEALs, Ricks, in order to assassinate him, actually. And there's more to it, but I'll just stop there, because I need to finish with the moves and all. So, yeah, I went over with the morph gun and what it does. The air versions of the moves, most of them are the same, but also a little different. For the Meeseeks, Rick will have a Meeseeks on his shoulders, and it'll be flapping its arms. It's a decent recovery, and it also does a little bit of damage if you can run into people with it. Rick's side special is the same with or without the portal gun when it's in the air. And the same goes to his up special and down special. Nothing new about those. So overall, Rick is he's a very, very, like, versatile kind of character. He's got different moves to enhance himself, and more importantly, he's got about, let's see, 1, 2, 3. He's got 4 different methods of recovering if he gets knocked off to the sides of the stage. 4 different methods. That's like, Rick is good at recovering if he's given the chance. And even then, although the portal gun is a good recovery method, it is a bit predictable because if you can just follow the target reticle, that's why you got to be a bit unique. Well, not so much as unique, but you got to be a bit careful when you're setting up your portals. Because your opponents could probably... Because I do this when I face other Ricks and Mortys with Morty's down special. I prime myself near where they're going to warp, and it's like, yeah, I know you're coming. So, even though Rick has the hard difficulty, and he is hard, because the real trick to Rick is to knowing the spacing and having spacing out your portals just right. That way you can then, you know, have powerful projectiles on your side. And it's also like knowing when to hit. So, like, there's just a lot to go with Rick. Knowing when to hit, knowing when to, like, prime up with things. And although he is a bit on the frail side, because he is a mage, and mages do take extra damage compared to others, he still has some pretty heavy-hitting moves and projectile-related attacks. Like, I don't know how more I can go on with it. I've seen Twitter videos of people pulling off some really neat combos with Rick, and I wish I can do those. And yeah, like I said, with me watching the show, I mean, by the time Rick and Morty had, like, began, I was pretty much near the end of my high school days, so I wasn't really interested in it. But thanks to this game, I decided to, like, actually give it a proper watch. And I've only known Rick and Morty through, like, the memes, really. And the memes are what make it funny to me. Oh boy, I'll check that later. Somebody on Discord sent something to me, but I'll check it in a bit. But yeah, it's a very great thing with Rick with his moveset and all. Here's some interesting things regarding Rick in terms of how he is in this game. During the game's beta, originally, Justin Roiland, who voiced Rick in the show, he voiced him up from Season 1 to Season 6. Justin also voices Morty as well, but the thing is, around that time when the beta was being made and all, Justin had a controversy allegations, which turned out to be true, I believe, where basically it was, I think it was workplace harassment. Harassment and maybe, yeah, it was harassment. I think it might have also been a bit of sexual harassment and such, but I think it was just general harassment in general. Yeah, redundancy, but still. So, because around the time when the beta was made, Season 7 of the show was still in production, so they would, they just simply used a lot of Justin's recordings from the show, like straight from the show.
Test this for me.
Now, when the final game came out, Rick's new voice actor for Season 7 would take over, and that is Ian Caldori, I think. Is that how you say his last name? Anyway, I heard Ian's voice work on Rick in the trailer of the game when it was relaunching, and I was actually quite impressed to see that it sounds almost just like Justin. It's almost like indistinguishable. The other thing would be the Mr. Meeseeks. The Mr. Meeseeks also are voiced by Justin, and I believe, yeah, in the beta, whenever Rick summons them, they'll say things, you know, I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me, or basically same from their episode debut, when just reusing the audio from that. Now, I don't think they have decided to well, actually no, I think they do. Sometimes when you summon a Mr. Meeseeks now, it will just simply say, I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me, but I don't think that's Justin, it's someone else doing the voice. Another thing with the Meeseeks is that in the beta, there were items in the beta that you can use and pick up, but the only way you could have summoned them was through Bugs Bunny and his items, and one of those items you can use was a Meeseeks box, and the way that it worked was that anytime you used your attacks...
How awesome is that?
Okay, I just want to point out, there is no way you could have known the exact distance. And if somebody says, yeah, you just gotta memorize, what kind of, like, that's just boring. That makes you boring. Learn to not know these things. Learn to live with the punches. Anyway, yeah, the Meeseeks box item, anytime you pressed the attack button, you would summon a Meeseeks, and it would just basically be Rick's neutral special in a way. It would just, they would just go, you know, flailing after the opponent. But you can also throw the box to do damage, as funny as that sounds. But you only had 3 uses of it. Once they were out, they were out. Trying to see, what else was there regarding Rick in the beta?
The red guy's got that point. So you have some computer nerds to beat up somewhere?
Not sure if there was anything else. This guy, seriously.
Get back here.
There. See, sometimes all you gotta... A good thing I can recommend for some characters is rely on collision. rely on collision that enemies will take, your opponents will take when they bounce off walls in the floor. Sometimes it will be more helpful than you think, especially if they take high enough damage. If they take high enough damage and then yeah, if they take high enough damage and you hit with a hard enough attack and they bounce off a wall, they're most likely going to bounce off into the blast zone. Alright, from here, I don't think there's really anything left I need to share. Oh yeah, speaking of Rick, I mean, unless I do a video of Morty, but Morty had the same treatment with the voice work as well. Originally, Justin's audio was used for it, and then later they got forgot his name, the guy who voices Morty now. They got him involved. But all right then. I think it was either the next match after, or there was a match that I did. I won the first match, but I think I missed having to record the rematch bit. I don't know. Part of me just wants to watch and see until we get there so I can confirm. But I know I do not win this fight, even though I'm doing slightly better, but still. Is there a way I can kind of cheat it a bit? I can't tell. Like, I only did like a few more with the skins after this.
I'll crush you.
All right, I think I'll stop. I'll just stop recording. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I accidentally forgot to record a rematch is all I can say. Not that it matters. I won the rematch anyway. So, yeah. See you at the end of the video.
The red guy's got that point. So you have some computer nerds to beat up somewhere? See that? Cyber skis, baby! Watch your heads, idiots! Dodge this! The other guys won that one, not you. Sorry. Gravity's for chumps! Oldest Rick trick in the book. Don't worry, that one. Yeah, ha! Haha, yeah! Hey, you won. Awesome. Maybe now your dad will be proud. Later, suckers! How awesome is that? See that? Cyber skis, baby! See that? Cyber skis, baby! Whoa, real scared. High alert over here. Blue team gets that one. Here we go. Spike sting.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks!
Up and away!
Son of a...
The red guy's got that point. Whoa! Didn't see that coming. Hey, you won. Awesome. Maybe now your dad will be proud.
My future vision tells me this will be no problem at all. acceptable.
Good team gets that one.
I don't know whether I'm very angry or very impressed. Maybe both. Should have stayed home.
All right, here's the plan. Hey, you won. Awesome. Maybe now your dad'll be proud. Haha! Catchphrase, baby!
Are all those gadgets compensating for something, Rick? The plan! I'm gonna stick that portal gun where the sun don't shine.
Oldest Rick trick in the book. Good team gets that one.
That's 2 out of 3, you old nerd. Gravity!
Hey, you won. Awesome. Maybe now your dad'll be proud.
And there you have it, people. That was Matches with Rick there. All in all, a very top-tier kind of character, if you can understand the mechanics and the pacing of how he works, you can do some real damage with him. So, that'll do for this episode of Multiverses. Join me next time
You gotta pick a character.
as we do some matches with Stripe. that is it, and I will see you guys next time.
Make it fast. I'm busy.